See, I've had the pleasure of using Renee's services because she's actually saved my business. So I always tell her what I do. So this is finally, she gets to learn exactly what I do. So I'm really fortunate about this. So what I'd like my ladies to do is to take the little notch right there and put it right between the center of the chest. Okay. Now take your other hand, put it right on top, and I want your shoulders over your wrists and your arms nice and straight. Now what I want you to do, don't look at me, look down because I don't want you to have a workman's comp issue. And I want you to give me, let's say 30 compressions, but I want you to count it out loud. Ready? Begin. Not so hard, Renee. We're not going for depth. It's only 2 inches. Although the CPR police won't come, I don't know. 20, 21, 22, 23. Beautiful. That was the best CPR I've seen by a second group all day. And I've actually taught another class, and let me tell you, you blew them away. Okay? Now, what I'd like you guys to do is to go back to your seat. In your hand? All right. Now, the purpose of CPR is this. You've got this huge muscle in the center of your chest. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to take that sternum and push all that oxygenated blood around. Okay? You want to keep that, as I like to say, keep the engine primed. So that when help comes and you can get that AED, we've got a shot. CPR by itself is great. I should say it's good, but CPR with medical intervention and the AED is better. And if we can get to them in the hospital, that's great. I've been in EMS for over 20 years. I've done CPR on more people than I like to say. I've had one save. And I know most of you are probably saying, that's not a very good ratio, except for the guy that I saved. And that's what this is all about. It's about saving one person. Now, we talk about Annie, are you okay? There's a company out there, it's called Laerdal. They're the premier mannequin company in the world. Well, Mr. Laerdal, back before, I think it's in the 20s or 30s, had a child. They lived in Norway, and they had a pool, which is kind of funny because it was probably only, it was like winter every day, and the two weeks that they didn't have freezing cold, she actually went into the pool, and she drowned. After she drowned, he pulled her out. He said, Annie, are you okay? And he didn't do anything because it wasn't invented yet. So what did he do? He went to his doctor friends, and they came up with the first mannequin. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. This little girl died. Now we're doing this whole entire industry. For those of you that don't know, or those of you that have kids in the schools, there's a new law coming in September. It's called Janet's Law. Janet, and I can never say her last name because it's this really long, wonderful name, was a cheerleader who was 13 years old in Somerset County, New Jersey. She was a cheerleader that died. And the reason why she died, there wasn't an AED around. She had a massive heart attack. She had a cardiac event. Because of that, because Janet Law is now in place, not only does every school have to have an AED, which most do, but they have to have it within a reasonable area. We call a reasonable area 4 minutes, 2 minutes to get it and 2 minutes back. So when we're going into a school, it's not good enough to have it locked up in the principal's office or the nurse's office. They have to be everywhere around the grounds. So you're going to be seeing AEDs a lot more than you ever have before. But the difference is, it's great to have an AED, but you have to be able to maintain it. And that's something that we do, that I do at Care First. We do a service plan where we come in and we service the product. Now, your question about Heimlich, or I should say abdominal thrusts. This is the universal sign of choking. This means we're not kidding around. And what I want everybody to do is I want everybody to stand up. Because I know you've been sitting all day and selling your furniture and selling your sprinklers and making your cards and whatever Chris does, And what I want you to do is I want you to take your 2 thumbs and find the top of your pelvis. And now, after you do that, I want you to bring it together. And where does it come to? Okay, if you don't have one, there's a guy down at Morristown Memorial, 3rd floor. Put one in really, really cheap. Now, you take your 2 fingers, and I want you to put it right above that belly button. Take your other hand, make a fist. Take that fist, put it right above the 2 fingers. Flat part goes to flat part. Take the other hand, put it right on top. Now, I don't want you to actually do this, but what we're going to do is we're going to make the letter J. We're going to go in and up, as hard as we can. Now, I know since we have a lot of medical experts here, I have some medical tough questions. What protects your lungs? Oh my gosh, these are like, this is the A group. What's below your ribs but above your stomach? Exactly. And you know when you were a kid, they used to say, sing from your diaphragm or speak from your diaphragm. That's what we're trying to agitate to actually make the person expel whatever happens. Now, you're going to keep doing that until they go unconscious. After they go unconscious, you're going to lie them down or let them fall. But there's two particular groups that we have to worry about. The really, really tall and the really, really big or second or third trimester. Now, let's take Wade, because he looks like he's in the second or third trimester. Why don't you come on over here? You guys can sit back down.
I guess CrossFit's not working for you.
We have to talk. Now, let's just say that Wade was in the second or third trimester, or he's just too big and I can't get my hands around his stomach. What I would want to do is, I want to take one hand, put it over the shoulder, other hand go like this. Now, what I want you to do, Wade, is I want you to go, See how you made that noise? What we're doing is we're actually expanding the chest and the lungs. We're hoping that it either goes down or it can come out. We don't care, because it just can't collect rent right in here. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, you did a great job. Nobody died, thank God. We're going to have you sit down. Now, Paul, why don't you, because you're the shortest person in the room, clearly. I promise, because I always try to, when I have big people, like taller than me, you never want to make them upset because they'll just squash me like a grape. So I'm not going to touch you, I promise. But what I want you to do is you'd want to put him against the wall. So what we're going to do is we try to put him up against the wall. You can stay right there. I know, there's a little thing. You're going to take the heel of your hand. The same heel we've been using all day. You're going to find his belly button, you're going to go in and up. But when we do that, you want to stay to the side, unless you have like goggles like I do. Okay? You want to make sure that if it comes out, then you don't have anything on you. But you're going to use the wall. You're going to use the wall as your support if you can. You did a great job just for standing there. Thanks. Okay.